Bonjour, mes amis. Hi, friends. My name is Cece, and my pronouns are she and her. And welcome to another episode of Kokedama Live. Today, we are going to talk about drugs again. If you watched my previous live stream, I talked about drugs on that live stream as well. And I think it was an interesting conversation, and I have a little bit more to add to that conversation. And so today I'm trying out a new camera setup because I'm streaming on Instagram on top, and then YouTube on the bottom. And I'm no longer doing like a side-by-side because when I try to do a side-by-side, I end up looking like to both sides, and it's really awkward, and I can't show you a plant, like both Instagram and YouTube. Like I can't show you a plant at the very same time. And so I'm going to try this on like sort of one on top of another type of setup. But YouTube is currently a little bit crooked. So I'm going to straighten that out, and then we'll kind of get started. Or I'm going to try to anyways. I don't know. YouTube, I'm sorry, this is shaky. That didn't really fix it a little bit. Hi, everybody on Instagram. Since the camera is like way further away now, I'm gonna probably struggle with seeing your names, and I'm probably gonna have to like zoom my face way in there to be able to read, and I'm gonna have to find a way to maybe have another device closer so that I can actually read comments and stuff. But yeah, so today's live stream. Oh, I just noticed the light is in the shot. There, it was just here. I found a whole bunch of plants today that I'm like pretty excited about. I've actually had this one for a little while. This is bay laurel, and Instagram is doing that weird thing where I'm getting that banding, and usually that's because of these lights. Somehow it like messes up with my phone, and now it's gone. I don't know. But yeah, this is like a little bay laurel, so like bay leaf that you use for like cooking soups and stews and stuff. That's this one. And it's grown like quite a bit since I got it. I think I got this one last week. And then I got this really cute like azalea, sort of a like a salmony dusty rose color. Really cute. And it's like just a 2-inch pot. But it was just like super cute, and I kind of wanted to play with that. And then I have a few of these cyclamen, and they're really neat because the flower petals actually fold up backwards, and like the stamen and stuff are like, oh, you probably can't see it. They're like in here. They're really neat, but I discovered something really interesting about them, and I've worked with cyclamen before, but somehow I think it's pretty, but maybe I'm just like super nerdy. And then look at this. And this is Begonia, and it's like I think it's like one of the hybrids. But look at those colors. Like it's dark red in the middle of the petal, and then on the edges it goes to like this light pink, almost white. But this is so stunning. So I'm really excited about this one. I might work on this one first, but I do need to do moss before we get there. So let's just start with moss time. And if you've been on my live streams before, you'll know that as I work, I take questions, and you can ask me anything you want as long as we're keeping things classy. And I've never had a situation where we didn't keep it classy. But if I feel like we're getting into like not classy territory, then we'll just kind of not go there. But yeah, otherwise we can talk about just about anything. We can talk about plants, we can talk about business, we can talk about Kokedama. We can talk about my non-existent dating life. And we can talk about drugs. Well, I'm going to be talking about drugs. I'm just getting some moss here. And I will try to process just enough to do a whole Kokedama. And then we'll just switch back and forth, sort of as I work. Yeah, I wish I could see all the names. Sorrow, Anna, and Christina, welcome to the live stream. And so today is Tuesday of the, 27th? And so on my previous live stream, I talked about medication, and Kyla, welcome to the live stream. Yeah, last live stream, I talked about anxiety medication and like sort of medication in general. And where I had 2 months ago. Yeah, so that would have been like 2 days after I started my anxiety medication. And at that time, I was experiencing some interesting like side effects. Sir Pearl Gray, welcome to the live stream, and Keep Busy SG, welcome to the live stream. And on YouTube, we have 2 people. I wish I could see your names so that I could say hi. But if you want me to say hi, you can leave a comment in the live chat, and I will say hi. Yeah, and so I am currently taking medication for my anxiety, and I have been on the medication for 2 weeks now, like 2 weeks and like 2 days, 3 days, and so the last live stream I had been on the medication for like 3 days, I think, 2 or 3 days, and usually the literature notice a difference in like 2 to 3 weeks, and things will stabilize, sort of 4 to 6 weeks. And what I was experiencing drops in anxiety sort of the very next day. So I took my first dose in the evening, and then the next day I was experiencing these periodic drops in my anxiety, which was like, and like only for like 5 to 10 minutes at a time. But that was such a huge relief when that was happening. Like, I had had this persistent anxiety for like 2 years nonstop. Um, Medicaine, Amphora, business storytelling, Denise, Mike, and Fifth Keith. Fifth Keith, welcome to the live stream. And yeah, so like I've been experiencing anxiety, and like quite severe anxiety, for 2 years. And I guess anxiety can just sort of creep up on you, where it creeps up and you get used to it, and it creeps up and you get used to it. And it took my new roommate telling me, hey, like, I don't think you're describing your anxiety as 3 out of 5, like in severity, is she's like, I don't think that's very accurate. I think maybe it's more severe than you think it is. And that's what really got me really thinking about like sort of how bad my anxiety had actually gotten. And so I finally talked to my doctor about medication, and I'm very sensitive to medications, like all medications, very sensitive to alcohol and like secondhand cannabis. And so I explained that to my doctor, and we started with this like really small dosage of my anxiety medication. And the one that I'm taking is escitalopram. I'm not sure if I got the emphasis on the syllables properly, but the UK and Canadian brand name for it is Cipralex. Raimundo and Hammer and Vine, welcome to the live stream. I'm making Kokedama and talking about drugs today, medication. Sort of a part 2 to last live stream. And so I've been on medication for just over 2 weeks now. And some of the initial side effects that I had were that it was like really hard to concentrate, and which is why I cut my last live stream a little bit short. And it's also part of the reason why I canceled last week's live stream, because it was really, really hard to concentrate, especially in the evening and at the end of the day. And what that meant was that, like, I've been driving for a long, long time, and driving became this activity that I had to do really, really consciously, that I had to be really careful about and really, really pay attention, because of those challenges focusing. And I had this one thing with my roommate where we were trying to have a conversation, and there was this moment where I could either hold a thought in my head or make words, but I couldn't do both. And so that meant that I could not communicate in that moment. It's like the thought was there, but I just couldn't make the words. Those types of side effects have become much less prevalent. Driving has become better, requires a little bit less like super concentration to do, but still a little bit. Let me just clean it up. Let's see how much we have here. It's going to be close. Let's just do a little more. It'll be better, safer. And yeah, so the side effects have gotten a little bit less. I guess my body's just getting used to it and like not up and down regulating so much. And like I think my reaction to the medication is a little bit unique to my body being really sensitive to medication. But after 2 weeks, my level of anxiety is so much better. Sandy and Kokedama, welcome to the live stream. Yeah, the severity of my anxiety is a lot better. I am struggling with words right now. Focus is still a little bit of a problem. Not as bad as it was last week. I'm not as barfy, but I do have Wayo, welcome to the live stream. I do have less appetite. I think I just don't. The medication is making me feel my hunger less urgently. So I still get hungry, but it doesn't feel like I need to eat right away when I'm hungry. And yeah, maybe that's like normal. I'm not sure at this point. I don't know what normal really is anymore. But yeah, the severity of my anxiety is much less. I still wake up with anxiety, but most days now it seems to drop off after I do my morning I do journaling in the morning, but it's not like journaling, writing about the day or anything like that. Ouch. Oh, we have somebody from Thailand. That's so neat. The way that I journal is I have a little sketchbook, and with my therapist, we've been doing some inner child work, and so in my journal, I actually do a little illustration. So I use my creativity a bit, and I illustrate like 6-year-old Cece, and then I write her affirmations for the day, and a lot of times they're just attached actually to the day before, and like that's my form of journaling right now. And usually after I do that, I usually feel better. Not every day; it's still like persistent, but usually the intensity will drop off quite a bit. And then as I get my day started, it usually drops some more. And unless I'm exposed to a stressor, like, I don't know, at a 1 or a 2, which is like so much better than before. And the last couple of days have been like really good days. Yesterday was my day off, and I was able to get a lot of things done. Like I cleaned, and I did laundry, and I made some Kokedama, and it was my friend's birthday, so I dropped off a gift for her, and I was just able to do a lot of things. And where before medications, I would have been burnt out by 2 p.m. kind of a thing. And so it's been, and today it's not a day off, but I ran around getting supplies and things for this live stream, and it's been a really productive day. And I kind of took a 20-minute nap before this to make sure I had energy, but it's such a huge improvement over where I was last week or the week before, and way, 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 way better than before meds. And I just, I really wanted to share that experience with you because there is a lot of stigma around medication for anxiety or medication for depression or medication for conditions like ADHD. And there shouldn't be. Sometimes we just need a little help to be able to live life and to do the things that we need to do, and to be able to work and make a living and to live full and abundant lives. And so I'm sharing my journey with medication because I've experienced a lot of stigma around it, and that really kept me from accessing the help that I needed to get better. Sandy says that it was very hard for them to get help for their GAD. I'm not sure. I don't know what GAD stands for. And if you're still here, maybe you can share with us what GAD stands for, and maybe what what it's like to experience that, but only if you feel comfortable. If you don't feel comfortable, you can just ignore it. Generalized anxiety disorder. Yes, okay. And I haven't been formally diagnosed, but I think in a lot of ways that's what I'm experiencing. I'm just scooping some soil here. I think it's so funny that I still keep my soil on the floor, and I have to bend over to scoop it every time. It looks so funny. I don't know. The way that I experience anxiety is this. There's a generalized gut anxious for apparently no reason. I'm just anxious, and sometimes if it's in the middle of the night, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., my anxiety keeps me from getting back to sleep. And so then I'm sleep deprived, which makes my anxiety worse, because I don't have energy to cope during the day. And then it's this kind of nasty downward spiral. Yeah, and so sometimes I just get anxious, apparently for no reason, or at least no reason that I can put my finger on. Clay Cats, Nura Tenorio, and Kokedama Party, welcome to the live stream. Yeah, so I don't know if that's common. Let's see. Sandy says, I struggle with a lot with a bit of disconnect between treating symptoms with my healthcare provider and not understanding the connection between physical symptoms of psychological feelings and reactions. That sounds familiar. It took me a long time to recognize my anxiety as well. And like different people experience anxiety differently. For me, I have like sort of like 3 main physical symptoms of it. So I'll have the heart, like my heart will pound and it'll like feel like it's like pounding in my ears and like in my chest, like up here, like not like where your heart is, but it like feels like up here. And then my heart will feel like it's racing, even though it's not necessarily racing, it just feels that way. And then like one of the more severe feelings is like difficulty breathing. It feels like I can't get enough air, so my chest is tight, and I describe it like the feeling of having pneumonia, where it doesn't matter, like you can try to breathe deeply and it still feels like you're not getting enough air. Those are the main ones for me. And then if it gets worse than that, like into a full panic attack, then I'm just a sobbing mess usually. Hey Vincent and Alejandra and Saturn. I can't read the rest. My eyes are not working well. Yeah, and that's a big deal too, like recognizing what anxiety feels like to yourself. Air hunger, that's such a good description for like the hard to breathe thing. Yeah, and it's just like, you know, a lot of times you'll get people like when you're like, oh, it's just like really hard to breathe right now, and I'm like really anxious, and like people will tell you like, okay, just slow down and take some deep breaths, like, but if you haven't experienced it, like deep breaths don't work if that's how you experience your anxiety. Hi, Amy. And La Chica Verde, welcome. And also, yeah, and like, I understand that we experience like severe anxiety. It's like, it can be kind of hard to imagine. And so like if that's something that you don't experience and somebody is telling you that they do experience it, it's really important to just like believe them and listen to what they're telling you. And it's like there's all sorts of things that I don't know what it's like. It's like I don't know what it's like being a man. Like, and there's in a lot of ways there's no way that I can really know, and so it's important to listen and pay attention when people's experiences are like when we don't experience those things. It's important to listen and to like believe them and validate what they're going through. Fabefo, welcome. And Candle Art Designer, welcome to the live stream. We're just talking about anxiety and medication and how medication has been working really well for me so far. I'm looking forward to things like leveling out some more. And then we were, Sandy had shared that they also experience generalized anxiety disorder, and how it can be really hard to get help if like, especially if healthcare providers sometimes they're not helpful. Like if they don't have experience working with patients that experience that sort of thing, you can get misdiagnosed and that kind of thing. Sandy says that they agree, and it's very much a problem of looking normal on the outside, but suffering on the inside. Oh my goodness, yes. A lot of when I told people that I'm starting medication, because I told a bunch of people that this is a thing that's happening. I don't know how my body's going to react, but I'm letting you know ahead of time, just in case I do some like really weird, crazy stuff. Like, don't let me be like destructive to myself. And some people were surprised. They were like, "Oh, is that bad?" They're like, "I don't see that." And it's like, yeah, that's because you see me on Instagram and on my live streams, and like I do my live streams when I'm at my best, or whatever it is. You don't see me when I go home and like crawl into bed and like try to soothe my anxiety with my heated blanket and my 3 duvets, and sometimes it can take me an hour or 2 or 3. I think the longest I've hid in my room is like 4 hours after work, before I was able to come out and feed my beautiful cat and like feed myself and like drink water and that kind of thing, and very much it's can be really isolating, I think is the word I would use for it. Grazi, Lou, Divina, and Wes ER2, welcome to the live stream. Depression can be very sort of this hidden thing, and it's like, oh, it's like there's a lot of stigma around it, and I think a lot also that like people can use the terms like not purposefully, frivolously, but like when you, like everybody experiences some level of anxiety, but like severe anxiety can be like super crippling. Mrs. Liu and Angelina, welcome to the live stream. So I am going to work on this Begonia first because I think the colors are so fantastic. Yeah, Sandy, it is pretty hard. I'll let you finish your sentence. And like that's why I think it's so important to listen to people when they say I'm having a really hard time, and it's like, oh, you know, and I know now with my medication working that I reacted really like not myself to any situation that was like a little bit challenging. And I'm really, really, really grateful that I have really, really good friends because like over the last couple of years, as I got more and more anxious and my anxiety got worse and worse, I withdrew more and more and more because I thought I was broken and that nobody wanted to be around me. Like, who wants to be around this negative, this negative person who's like always anxious and so I withdrew. And what I really needed to do was reach out, but my friends didn't leave, even though I was making all of this space. Yeah, I'm being weird and using my tongs on my hair because my hands are all mucky. Yeah, as Sandy says, it's hard to convey the cup is always full and running over constantly. Yeah, totally. And then that triggers are completely different for everyone. Yes, so much. Yeah, I do have some like very specific triggers, and I think they're just trauma related. Just trauma related. I think they're trauma related. Like a lot of them are. And like stuff around men and loud noises and sirens, alarms, that kind of thing. And there's another part of my anxiety that I am discovering is linked to my neurodiversity. I have been exploring and about neurotypicalism. It's not an ism, like being neurotypical versus neurodiverse or divergent. Diverse is probably the better word. And it's been super interesting to learn about how I've operated in the world and how much I hide and how those things affect me. Fabivo.com says, severe anxiety is challenging and a struggle that can be hard to comprehend. And she says that you are not alone, Cece. I've suffered the condition since recovering from domestic abuse trauma since 2007. Yeah, and I think, I feel like we just need to talk about it because, especially sort of in pandemic land, we are all going through this massive global group trauma. And none of us are going to be the same after this, really. And we're all going to have to learn to cope with it, and hopefully we can do the work that's needed to recover and heal. Yes, but if we can talk about it and share about it, so that so that we know that, hey, this is a thing that happens to us because we are human, and other people have experienced these types of things and they've healed from it, and I can get help for it. I think that's a really important story to tell, and that it's that healing process is not easy. You can ask anybody, nobody is going to tell you that it's easy, but that it is doable. Here, this is the pretty amazing, fantastic begonia. I'm just going to clean up my gloves, and then we'll get the moss done on there. Sandy says, I'm guessing we're from the same generation where we were kind of left dealing with emotions and traumatic sensations internally. It's psychologically impossible to do that forever. I agree. Sharing helps. And as Sandy says, I am grateful you are open to discussing it on your platform. Yeah. I am Gen X. If you it's the latchkey kid generation, and yeah, we definitely did that a lot. I think the Zennials, so the ones, the group, the demographic that's sort of between millennials and Gen X, was sort of on the cusp, also experienced a lot of those similar type things. Yeah, Gen X. Yeah, but if you're in Alberta, Gen X's response to the government opening up vaccines for those 40 and over has been really, really good, which I'm really proud of. I did get my vaccine a little bit earlier because I was included in, I don't know, they gave our, the groupings were done by numbers and letters. So I was in group 2, and was health workers and stuff, and then strangely people with autism, and yeah, that's why I got my vaccine a little bit early, but we're getting there. We're getting to our new normal, I think. Okay, I'm gonna move my chair out of the way so I don't trip on it. And we will get to this moss. I am really excited for this. This Begonia. She's just so beautiful. A little droopy. I don't like. She seemed well watered, so I'm not sure. Kokedama Violetta, welcome. Yeah, the Mimi tweets from Gen X Vaxxers. Yeah, so funny. But like, so relatable. Funny thing is that a lot of times people they don't believe that I'm Gen X. And I'm just like, I have two kids. I have two kids that are like 10 and 14. And they're like, what? You have two kids? And I'm like, yeah. And they're not babies. Yeah. Those tweets have been super relatable. Oops. Oh, one other thing that I experience, like anxiety-wise, is sometimes I forget to breathe. And so sometimes I just like, I don't know, I just hold my breath and I don't breathe. And then I'll have to like, I'll suddenly feel that, hey, I haven't been breathing for like a whole bunch of seconds. And then I'll have to take like a really deep breath to like catch up. And that can come off a little weird, but if we're hanging out and you just see me taking like a bunch of deep breaths, that's why. Oh, that's the other thing that being on medication has really helped with is decision making. Like when I was just experiencing nonstop anxiety 24/7, I was unable to make decisions and unable to do things. My anxiety would kind of keep me paralyzed. But that's gotten so much better in the last couple of days. And I'm hoping that it continues to get better as my body gets used to the medication. And Sandy has 2 adult children. Ooh. I'm just on the tail end of Gen X. But like still kind of proud of it. Like Gen X is kind of badass, but like in a traumatic kind of way. Oh, EFT. I have heard of EFT. I can't remember what it stands for again, but it's like where they stimulate the right and left brain with like tapping and like sounds. I think this is what it is. And then they like sort of recalibrate your brain around your triggers and things like that, which sounds really neat. It's used also for emotional freedom tapping. It's not what I thought it was, but it sounded similar. I'm gonna have to look into that and see. It sounds pretty interesting. Okay, that is one Kokedama. Jerdizzle, Mackenzie, welcome, and Aren Cthulhu, welcome to the live stream. And we have 2 people on YouTube, welcome. And here is the finished begonia. But like, look at those flowers. They're so amazing. I couldn't pass up this. So I'm gonna set this aside. And I want to do the azalea, but I think I'm going to, oh, this is like falling over. I think I want to do this little one, the cyclamen next, because I really want to show you the little structure of the plant that I think is so neat, and it's like in there, so we have to get all the soil off to it's like for me to be able to show you that. Aren Cthulhu says plants and drugs are some of my favorite topics TRP will talk about. Yeah, we're just talking about anti-anxiety medication and other things. Yeah, begonias are really neat. There's so many different varieties and like a lot of hybrids with really fantastic like colors and stuff. And yeah, there's just so many begonias, and I really love the ones that are like that have the leaves that are wing shaped. Yeah, but these particular ones seem to only show up sort of in the spring and summer for planting like in your garden. But they will, it's kind of like a great little plant to keep all year round. And they like it bright. They don't like full afternoon sun is a bit much for them. And they like lots of water. Like not lots, but like lots. Yeah, Sandy, thanks so much for sharing your experiences as well. That was really nice. See you later. Angel Wing Begonia is on your wish list. I actually have one of those in the store right now, but I'm not working on it tonight. I still have a little bit of moss, but I think I'm going to process just a little bit more so that we don't run out in the middle of making this kokedama. Avery, welcome, and Frappuccino, welcome to the live stream. Oh, you know what's really funny? Today, so I was running around today, like getting materials for live stream and to make kokedama for this weekend. And when I was at the garden center getting supplies, this lady walked up to me. We'll call her B, just in case she doesn't, want to be like exposed. The names have been changed to protect the enthusiastic. And so I'm just like looking at plants and whatever, because like I have been known to buy plants at retail price. I make less money that way, but like when a plant speaks to me, and I kind of can't help it. And then this lady walks up to me, but like not too close, obviously, distancing because of pandemic land. But she walks up to me and says, I love you. And I was kind of like shocked. And I was like, thank you. And like the thought in my head was that maybe she just liked my style, like the way I looked, like maybe it's my like glasses with my I don't know, my camisole and flowy black pants, and like, like I like to think that I have like nice style, and I thought like maybe that's what she means. And then she like went on to clarify. She was like, you make kokedama, right? And she was like, oh, I follow you and love what you do. And she kind of gushed a bit, and like me being Asian, I'm just like, I don't know how to take a compliment. And I was just like, oh, like, thank you. And she also kind of like said that, she was like, oh, you're my hero. And I was just like, oh, I'm not sure that I deserve to be anybody's hero, but that, it was really nice. And she just like gave me some encouragement, and she was like, keep you're beautiful inside and out. Keep what you do. And like that was really encouraging. That was really quite neat to experience. And then I had stopped at the mall because I was going to pick up a new bottle of setting spray, makeup setting spray, which I completely neglected to do when I got to the mall. I went to, instead of going to the like the drugstore that has like sort of this like a beauty sort of department to it, I went to the clothing store, and and I went there, and then I went to a different clothing store and a different clothing store, and I forgot about the setting spray, so I have no setting spray for tomorrow. And then finally, the last store that I stopped at was it's this. It's a store called Oakenfort, and I walk in there, and like the salesperson says hi, and I'm just looking at the clothes, and they were like, "Oh, are you the person that does Kokedama?" And I was like, "Oh, I am." And they also follow me on Instagram, and so we had a little bit of a chat about plants and stuff, and they were also like really encouraging, and yeah, it was just a really interesting day that I got recognized twice in one day. It was kind of fun. Yeah. But we are going to be working on this little cyclamen here soon. And we'll see. I'm going to try for 3 Kokedama today, for tonight. We shall see how we do. It has currently been 1 hour, and I have finished 1 Kokedama. Which is like not super great. Oh, Ethos Bridal, welcome to the live stream. We were talking about triggers earlier, and one of my triggers is men's voices and raised voices. And there's like these people with deep voices outside my window at the moment, and they're raising their voices because they have loud, rumbly cars, and it's a bit challenging. I'm looking forward to them leaving, and it's not their fault. It's my trauma, but it'll be nice when they're done whatever they're doing. Yeah. Who else do we have on Instagram? Christensen and Kokedama's The Bouquet. Welcome. Yeah, I definitely need another monitor or another device. Maybe I'll take my tablet to be a monitor so that I can read comments and stuff without zooming my face in and like shoving my chest in front of the camera for YouTube. It's just a little weird, I think. this little spray. Make sure it stays nice and soft. And I already mixed this soil. It's gonna be, I think it's gonna be a little bit wet because I poured the water back in. So we'll just add a bit of soil. But yeah, so that was I had my big rant on about drugs and anxiety and how we need to normalize talking about it and normalize listening to people when they say that they experience high levels of anxiousness. And we need to destigmatize it. Okay, so let me take the little guy out of its tiny pot and remove a little bit of the soil, not too much. Because if I take off too much, it becomes hard to work with. Okay, I don't know if you can see here, so I'm gonna show YouTube first. But there's a bulb in here. Here. I don't know if it's actually a bulb. I didn't look it up before coming online. But it's like there's this hard structure that looks like a bulb, but I feel like the type of plant that a cyclamen is, that it's not a bulb and it's like a different kind of structure. Hi, Diane, and moi, Lucien, welcome. But yeah, it's like super cute, and there's like that little bulb thing. I don't know, I just thought it was so cool. And then the flowers are really neat. They're like, they start out as these little beaks, but they're kind of spiraled together, and then they open, and the leaves like open like this, and then they fold backwards, and that's how you, like, that's why they stick up like that. Yeah, super cute. So let's make the ball for this, and then get some moss on there. So my first kokedama took me like an hour to make. Believe it or not, I used to be faster. I used to make like a kokedama in like 15 minutes. And that feels incomprehensible to me now. But when I started, I didn't have the techniques that I have now. And so the like when I look back at my the kokedama that I used to make, like photos of it and stuff, like I can't. Sometimes it feels a little bit embarrassing for me to be like, oh, that's how I used to do it. Like that's not great, you know. But that was an experience, and like not knowing what I know now after like 7 years of making kokedama and like developing my own techniques around it and experimenting and see what works and what doesn't work. And but yeah, so it takes me a lot longer now to make them, but I do it a lot better than I used to. Hi Aubrey, welcome to the live stream. You missed the story about drugs, but you've heard it all before. So I think I'm going to leave that bulb structure just sticking out a little bit to sort of highlight it. I think like in a pot, it's just hidden and we never really get to see it. And so I want to show it off a bit with kokedama. No, I mean, you already missed it. Sprouted Pout said, oh good, I wouldn't want to miss something juicy. Diane says, I missed the name of the plant. What is it called? This is Cyclamen. So C-Y, no, yeah, C-Y-C-L-A-M-E-N. Cyclamen. I'm terrible at spelling, but I usually can spell plant names, but not always. And cyclamen comes in lots of different colors as well. I am trying to see if I want to go bigger with the ball, maybe a little bit bigger. At this point, it's just an aesthetic thing. And just go a little bit bigger and see if we can get like a tapering type of ratio where it's wider on the bottom and then the leaf area is like a little bit narrower, and then even narrower. And that will change as it grows, but it can get kind of big. Oh yes, you're right, Aubrey. You have not really missed anything because you already have heard these things. Let's try that. It feels pretty okay. It's like not my ideal ratio, but I think it's pretty good. The Cyclamen is actually pretty easy to work with. On YouTube, sorry YouTube, I was like not paying attention to the live chat, and something says hi. Hi, something. Oops. Save that extra soil. And get our moss. And our thread. I forgot to show off my thread on the last one because I don't know. It's like what I do. It is a. Let's see if I can move that. Oh, sorry, YouTube. I was like, let's see if I can move the light so that it makes it easier to see. But no, I just made things messy. This is my green polyester thread. Sprouted Pout said that her love language, that you are right, is her love language. And I don't know, when you're right, you're right. There's just really no getting around it. I don't know if I'm gonna have like juicy topics to talk about every week, but I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I should do a poll on Instagram to see maybe what people want to hear about. Maybe. Then I can make a list and check it twice and 3 times and 4 times because that's just how I am. We now have 3 people on YouTube Live. Welcome. And Tanya, welcome to the live stream. And Minecraft Roblox Seat, welcome to the live stream. Thanks for joining. I miss you. You missed the conversation about drugs, but it's at the very beginning, so later you can watch the replay. Car horns are also a trigger for me. Go figure. It's just probably because they're loud. So I am trying to make sure that this little bulb thing is not covered by moss. I really want to show it off in the final planting. And maybe I'll take a close-up photo of it tomorrow. Okay. Whew. Hi, Trixis. I hope you and your guns are doing well. Trixis has great guns, not these, like these. I'm gonna bring it up every time. But you'll have to tell me how your first day was later after the live stream is done. I really want to know. It's pretty exciting. Trix has started a new job recently, and I think it's pretty fun. You know what I need? I need COVID to be done. And one of the reasons why is because Trixis, hey, Starfish and Clay, welcome to the live stream. Because like Trixis doesn't just have like great looking guns. And, like when she does like the whole flex thing, like I like doing this to her biceps because they're so hard. They're so hard. It's like there's two rocks in her biceps, and it's just, I don't know, I like it. And like, unfortunately for me, she is taken. But, you know, if you aren't taken and you identify as she, them, or she, her, oh, shoot, and you have good guns, but like it's still COVID, so I'm like, I can't, right? It's too bad. Okay, so I forgot to show this off now that it's done. So this is the cyclamen with like those inverted flowers and the funny little bulb shape there. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of research on that and see if it's actually a bulb or more like, I don't know, more like a codex, maybe. I'm not sure if I should go all floral, do this azalea, this little tiny cute azalea, or work on this bay leaf. It's spring. Maybe I should do the florals. I'm gonna do the florals. Okay. Let's just make some more room. And I gotta process some more moss for Kokedama. Kokedama number 3. Oh, something. On YouTube, I now recognize your user icon thingy. And yes, your Insta handle is hard to say. I think if I practice it, I can get it. Okay, let's do a little bit. Ooh, this is really nice. Let me see. Let's do a little bit more moss. And look how green it is. It's really nice. The last section is like a little bit less green, but this part is really good. I like it. Oops. I'll try to get through this pretty quick. Ooh. Moss in my face. Cyclamen. Oh my goodness, I can't read from here. Sale and Noter, welcome to the live stream. My eyes are failing me in my old age. Ooh. This always happens to me. I use all my words at the beginning of the live stream, and the last part of my live stream is like more quiet. It's more chill. Oops. Fun Kristen, welcome to the live stream. And Mora, May, and V, welcome to the live stream on YouTube. If anybody has not been on the live stream before, I'm just making Kokedama, hanging out with you and taking questions. So you can ask me anything you want, as long as we're keeping things classy. And we have talked about lots of stuff. We've talked about online dating before. My last 2 live streams, I've been talking about medication and how medication is stigmatized, specifically around medication for anxiety and depression. And I think it shouldn't be. I think it should be normal to get the help that we need to live full and abundant lives. So yeah, you can ask anything. We can talk about plants. We can talk about life. Talk about love. We can talk about life. We can talk about business. Whatever. you want. Okay, that was a lot of really nice moss that we just got through. And we'll grab our little spray. And a little toss. Who just joined? And Estelle, welcome to the live stream. Okay, so we're going to work on this little azalea. Azalea can be quite a picky plant. It likes lots of water. It doesn't like to dry out. If you let an azalea dry out, it could just die on you, almost like within days. And they like it relatively bright. Yeah, but the big thing about azalea is they cannot dry out ever. So if you're gonna get an azalea, you need to be sure that you are prepared to water it as much as it needs. And as a kokedama, that can be, depending on the size of the ball, that can be every, like if you live in a place that's really dry, like I do here in Calgary, that could be every day or every second day. Every third day tops. Like really not more than 3 days between waterings. I'm just picking out the sticks and stones. Tiny UV, welcome to the live stream. Okay, I think I got most of the sticks. And I'm just adding some vermiculite as a soil amendment, just to help the soil hold a little bit moisture, a little bit more moisture. And Laura, welcome to the live stream. Okay. Now for this little cute azalea. So azalea also doesn't like its roots mucked with. And so normally I take off like all of this, like the old soil, but I am not going to do it with this little azalea because that's going to be too much shock. And then she's just not going to make it. So I'm just pruning away some of the lower leaves here to make some room for the soil ball. And then I'm just going to go for it. I'm just going to wrap the soil around the existing root ball, or whatever you want to call it. Because Azalea she's a sensitive girl, just like me. Mommy, daughter, welcome to the live stream. Okay, here we go. We need more water? I'm not sure. We will find out. Yes, more water. Ooh. Something else that I've been thinking of doing is starting to record ASMR videos, Kokedama ASMR videos, where I don't talk and I just make a Kokedama. If you've watched the live stream until now, maybe I'll put a poll on my Instagram. But yeah, let me know if Kokedama ASMR would be something that you would find interesting. So it would probably end up being like a 40-minute type of video, sort of start to finish making a Kokedama with no talking, just sounds. So for this cute little azalea, I'm going to try to make a slightly bigger ball than I normally would for something this size, because they don't like to dry out. And so the bigger ball is going to it's going to hold a little bit more water and not dry out as quickly, and we will give this beautiful little azalea a better chance of making it and like not drying out and suddenly dying, because that's what happens to them. I might have to try to get more of these. These are really great, actually. I'm kind of liking this size a little bit more than the ones that come in a bigger pot. It's just a lot of bang. Like the flower is just like boom in your face. There. That's like super cute. This is so cute. Okay. I mean, it's not like I haven't done one before, but I don't know. I am overwhelmed by the cuteness. I'm just making super noise left, right, and center. Okay. Once again, this is my words aren't working. My polyester thread, it's green, so that it kind of matches the color of my moss. To the live stream, and juancampos.jpg, welcome to the live stream. I'm just finishing up an Azalea Kokedama. She's real cute, real sensitive. I need somebody to take really good care of her. Just like me. But like, not really joking. It's all true. Just pinching off some of the lower leaves here that are gonna end up getting caught up in the moss and in the thread. I keep going off to the side. It's like I'm trying to hide. Randy Willisco, welcome to the live stream. Ooh. My bangs were like really cute earlier, and now they're just kind of ragged. It's an occupational hazard. Hey Holland, welcome to the live stream. I think we've got it covered. Now to get the final wrap on. And this is the one that secures everything together. And the way that I wind this ends up forming sort of a little bit of it almost weaves a mesh around the kokedama, around the koke, which keeps it all together. Oops. Almost lost it, which I've done before. Callie Cats, welcome to the live stream. Okay, there we go. Oh, I lost a petal. I'll squeeze out some of the extra water. So that it's not drippy. And to make the shape nice and round. Okay. And put a little flat spot on the bottom so it sits. And this is the little Azalea in its new home. Ooh, there's the little piece of stick sticking out. And another one. There. Super cute. Really pretty. Really finicky. But here she is. Just set this aside, and then I'll show you the other ones that I made on this live stream. Just clean up a little bit. Okay, get this out of the way. So, just finished this little azalea. Oof. I had enough of my gloves. Enough. Oh, I think I gotta. Oh. There. Whew. Yeah, so there's this little azalea, really pretty. And then the second one, here, I'll sit so YouTube can see me. The second kokedama that I made is this Cyclamen. And so this is the one that has like the funny little bulb thing here that, I don't know, it doesn't quite seem like a bulb. It seems a lot more like a codex, but I'm not sure. I'll need to research that one to find out. But it's got these neat, like when the flowers first come out, they're like little bird necks with like beaks, and then they start to unfurl like this one, like kind of like an umbrella, like the pointy umbrellas, and then and so the leaves grow, the petals of the flowers like kind of go like this, and then they unfurl and then they open up this way. So that's a really neat plant, neat flowers, and the leaves are the veining is light color, really neat. I love these, and I find these like pretty easy to take care of. I think it's because of the bulby thing in there that holds lots of water. And then the first one, passion flowers. Welcome to the live stream. The first kokedama that I made was this one, and I'm sure this is the begonia, and this is the back. But wait till you see the flowers. Look at this. Look at how striking these flowers are. They are in the middle of the flower, like closer to the middle. It's like this really like vibrant red, and then as we get further out in the petals, like it's like a gradient, and it becomes pink and like almost white. And like, look at this one. Like, it's just so amazing. Yeah, so beautiful. I can't believe that there were any of these left. Like, I can't believe people didn't just like buy them all up. And so those are the 3 kokedamas that I made for this live stream. And I know in the description I said that, oh, I'm going to be talking about drugs, the second part of talking about drugs. And I did. It was all at the very beginning, and we had some people also chime in and contribute to the conversation a bit, which was really amazing. And so if you wanted to like listen to the conversation about the drugs, about my journey with drugs, like anti-anxiety drugs, um, I'm gonna have the replay posted here relatively soon, so you can rewatch it, and it'll be like right near the beginning, so you won't have to watch like an hour in or anything like that to get to that part of the conversation. Thank you so much for joining me for another live stream and hanging out and asking questions and just being like super cool and keeping me company as I work. Until next time, au revoir. And good night, YouTube. Oops.